Okay. Chaps, all right? Lovely.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Springbok Eve of Match briefing. Just to explain how things will work, we will have Mzwandile Stick, assistant coach, first for about 7.5 minutes or so, and then we will bring in Bongi Mbonambi and Piet Stef du Toit. And then they'll be on for about 7 minutes as well. So if I can just ask, just raise your hands for questions, and we can get going.
Are we all good? Mzwandile, if we start with the obvious one, we've seen all the articles about the death threats. We would like some reaction from the Springbok camp. Has there been any more lately, and what's the reaction of the Bok camp?
Yeah, personally, I haven't received anything on my phone, so I'm not too stressed about it. But once again, we are well aware of the situation with Kobus and his family, and an honest truth from me. And personally, I can tell you now, we don't have a place for hooligans in our game, The players, they do their job to make sure that they represent their country. And all the players that were on the field, and we are here to represent South Africa. So if someone has got a problem with that, I think the French authorities will have to deal with that, But once again, from our side, we will make sure that we protect each other as a team, our players, management, everyone involved. And once again, we don't have a place for that in our game, You win some, you lose some as part of the game, So I'm actually disappointed. Whoever sent that message to a player, I'm really disappointed at that. But once again, we'll keep doing everything in our powers to make sure that we make our people proud at home. But once again, regarding the situation, I think it's well handled now between the authorities of French. And yeah.
Hi, over here. Rassie got most of the England team right on Tuesday. Was there anything that surprised you about their ultimate selection with Martin coming in and Cole starting?
I don't think there's actually big surprises, It's probably what we expected, Probably from the team that was announced by Rassie earlier in the week. Probably there's 2 changes in it because of, once again, Marcus Smith. I think he is not clear to play because of concussion. And Martins has been doing well, very well for them, one of the tough upcoming young player, and for him to get a starting lineup against the Springboks, it shows that their coaching staff really believe in his physique, and he's actually a good player. And at the moment, England, in general, I think they're in a good space as a team, They're getting the results they're looking for. And you can see also when it comes to the shift in their mindset, they're really physical. And how they played against Fiji in the quarterfinals, I think we were impressed with the physicality of the game, So, yeah, not really much surprises, but I think they've selected their best possible team.
Hello. The English team is maybe in the same position as you in 2029. Do you maybe are a little bit afraid of what they are growing, how they are build their team, and maybe how they going to the final or for the semi-final? The mindset.
Yeah, like I just mentioned now, they actually, as a team, they're getting the results they're looking for, and going to the playoffs and most especially semi-finals, you can never underestimate anyone, So we know it's going to be tough, and we know for sure that England will pitch up on the day tomorrow. And we've seen what they've done in the past against the All Blacks, in Japan, where probably that's one of the most physical games I've ever seen from the English side, and we expect the same tomorrow, But once again, as a team, we are well prepared. And also, if you look at our side, the game we played against France, probably I personally was probably one of the toughest games to be involved in. You know, from the first whistle, I think the tempo and the intensity of the game, how France started against us, it really, really challenged us. And the scoreboard speaks to exactly that, because that game was really a very, very tough game in a sense of both teams, when they got their opportunities, they've capitalized, you know, and that's playoff game, you know. I think we expect the same also tomorrow. England will pitch up, and we'll make sure also we do pitch up. And yeah, and I feel like the team that will probably convert their opportunities into points will probably stand a good chance to win the game. So it's going to be a tough one.
Morning, Coach.
Morning.
Just a question on the players that we saw sitting in the stands today. Jaden Hendricks, Grant Williams, and Lucanio Ama, didn't see him also taking part in training. Maybe he came a little bit later. Any injury update that we need to know about?
No, nothing much at the moment. You know, our NPS players, which is the players that are not playing, they're always part of the plan, irrespective of they're not in the match 23. So every week, all the players that are not in the squad, they're always on standby. But at the moment, you don't have to worry. The 23 players we've selected are all fully fit to play the game.
Hi, Coach. Is it worth drawing any comparisons between this England team and the one you encountered 4 years ago? Are there any characteristics that are similar 4 years later?
One thing I know for sure, without even going too deep to 2019, in the past year, I think they are totally a different team. You know, I know they started slow under the new coaching staff with Borthwick, you know, but at the moment, because we analyze them and we go deep into how they do things and what they stand for. And to be honest, there's been a lot of changes in how they do things. And if you look at the way they're kicking, you know, probably the closest team to France, how the amount of kicks you get in the game. I've analyzed some of the games, even when they played against teams like Chile, they'll probably go about over 40 kicks in a game. So that shows you there's a bit of a tweak in there in how they do things. And physically, once again, because of the games they've played against France, against Fiji, they've showed that they can also be physical on a day. So the question is it the same team compared to 2019? They're totally a different team. And us as a coaching staff and players, I don't think we'll never underestimate them, because we know on a good day, when they switch that right button, they can be a dangerous team. So, yeah, I think they're a better team now where they are at the moment.
Coach Stocker, just another one on Kobus. Is he in a good headspace after receiving those messages?
No, he's proper. I've seen him every day. He's in a good space. He's got his family around him. And I think at the moment in our camp, you know, must also give credit to the French rugby, the security around our hotels, with all the teams that were in the World Cup, the security was just another level. So I don't think at the moment there's something to worry about, because we know for sure that we are well protected in our camps. And for Kobus, he's got his family around him, and the family has been around, and it's good to see our players also in a good space, you know, when they've got their families around. I think that's one thing we as a coaching staff and the management, we are finding a good balance in the sense of to get the human side first, to be happy, you know, and to have families around. I think it's something that helps us as a team. And yeah, Kobus is in a good space.
Hi, Giles from The Telegraph here. On Sunday after the game, Jacques Nienaba was saying that sort of the welfare of your players is the number one priority regarding the HIAs. Can I just ask, has there been any discussions internally with the coaching team about whether it's sort of moral and ethical that 3 players who had an HIA at the weekend are then playing in a World Cup semi-final 6 days later?
Yeah, the 2 that I remember in the game, it was called probably by the match officials. So once again, we want to protect everyone, you know, and we trust the medical experts, you know. I'm not a medical expert, but once again, also us as coaches, we go through courses to make sure that we protect our players when it comes to the moment you suspect something, you have to make sure that you raise it. I think we as a coaching staff only called 1 that we've requested from our team doctor just to check one of the players. So I think our team doctor made a call to go and check. I think it was Dwayne at that moment. But otherwise, the other ones were called, it was from the match or medical doctors. But once again, for us, we just want to make sure that we also keep the players safe.
Coach Stick, good afternoon. I hope all is well. Two-pronged question. Firstly, the Proteas are playing against England in Mumbai tomorrow. Just talk us through the weirdness or the funniness of actually having two national teams play different sports against each other at the same time. And then secondly, just talk to me about how you guys are controlling your emotions. There was a big outpouring of emotion, understandably so, after the game. Do you feel that enough emotions have been bottled from an intensity perspective for tomorrow's game?
Yeah, firstly, I think at the moment it's good to be South African. You know, if you look at what the Proteas are doing on the other side, I know the last game they played against Netherlands, things didn't go well, but I think where they are as a team, you know, they're actually doing very well. So credit must go to their coaching staff and Temba and these boys, you know, and I also wish them the best, and they must understand that we're also fully behind them as a Springboks. And from our side, like I said to you, Kanyiso, I think the pressure and the challenges that we had during that quarterfinals against France, you know, we knew that we're going to go against not only the 15 players that were on the field at that time. We knew the crowd is going to be hostile, and that once again the crowd didn't disappoint. The vibe, it was very, very intense in the game, you know, and for us to be able to pull it through, you know, through all the challenges that I felt like the French side threw at us, you know, and once again, to win the World Cup, you're going to have to go through tough times, you know, and we've been there before. Made an example about in Japan where we had to go play against the host nation. I think it was a similar situation with France, you know, and for us to pull it through, it was very, very special, you know. And there's one thing that Kanyiso, the support that we've got from our South African people now. We spoke about the Guijo squad last week to come and join us, and the vibe. And I won't lie to you. I remember after the game when we went around the crowd on the stands to say thanks to everyone who was there to support us. It was unbelievable to see the amount of South Africans that went all the way to come and support us. So that's one thing for sure for us, is that we live to make sure that we make our South African people proud. And we're going to keep on striving for them and make sure that we bring the best in South Africa.
Guys, unfortunately, it's a very short media conference.
Just one more. There's
more?
a gentleman.
Okay.
One more there.
Because you're so nice, Sticky.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Just England are talking a lot about how their best performance is ahead of them, they believe, in this World Cup. Is it realistic to think, given what you did against France, that your best performance can be ahead of you? And do you maybe not quite need your best performance against England?
Yeah, I can't comment on what they think about themselves, but one thing I can tell you for sure about us is that every game we've played so far in this World Cup, our boys, even with all the changes sometimes we normally make in our squad, you know, our boys, they always pitch up, you know. Probably one of the best games for me was when we played against Tonga, you know. Physically, they really challenged us. I think they gave us a good challenge to prepare us for what was coming, you know, and I know one thing for sure, they're going to be up for this, you know, because of, you know, the history between the two sides, you know, they're going to be up for it, and once again, and we'll make sure also we pitch up tomorrow, and we're not going to disappoint them, you know, but once again, like I said, England at the moment, they're in a good space, you know, and one thing that I can say from the quarterfinal against France, if you look at it both sides, when France got an opportunity early in the game to convert into points, you know, they really put us under pressure there. So I think it was a good game for us in a sense of where we stayed in the fight, you know. Otherwise, if our boys mentally didn't switch on in that game, it would have been probably a long day at the office. I think it's going to be the same tomorrow. Whoever is going to pitch up and execute their plan very well tomorrow, you know, and play the conditions also very well, I think we'll stand a chance to win the semifinals. But once again, England are in a good space. They're a good side, and they've got massive X-factor players in that team. So we can't afford to not to pitch up tomorrow. So I think the boys are well prepared. We're well prepared as a team, and yeah, hopefully everything will go well for us tomorrow.
Cool. Thank you, Sticky.
Thanks.
We'll bring
Thank you,
in the
everyone.
players now.